Hi everyone. It's time for today's video based on New York Times connection game. It's basically a game where you create four groups of four words from 16 given words. You have seen the thumbnail, so you know what the first group we are discussing is. Watch to the end of this video, and I will also tell you the other three groups of four words, what each word means, and what they have in common. So let's start with today's words. Cool in slang, one word is fire. So now, this is something that kids use. Oh, that's just fire. This TV show is fire, or my shoes are fire. Fire, of course, in the simplest form means the thing that burns you or burns your house or burn something down. But fire also, so that's a noun, fire. So here, fire is actually used as an adjective as cool. But in general, fire is, fire is the thing that burns. But then we have the verb fire, which is quite interesting because fire, one of the meanings of fire is to make somebody unemployed, right? Did you fire your, assistant? Fire, let him go. The less intense version of it is to let somebody go. I'm going to let you go. So another word for it is, in England, in UK, they use the word sack. I'm going to, I just got sacked. And then fire, when you fire somebody, they become unemployed. Again, in UK, they call it redundant. You've been made redundant, which means, we're letting you go. Another word that they use is laid off. Now, there's a difference between fire. When you fire somebody, that means it's, they did something wrong, but when somebody is laid off, it's got nothing to do with their performance, their behavior, their attitude. When you get laid off, is that the company is, having financial problems or restructuring or whatever. It's not about you. It's just that your position is getting gone. So and then fire off. That means start, right? Like fire off with your question. Do you have a question for me? Fire off. So, yeah. So, and then we have things like fire, ready, set, fire. That means, when you shoot gun, you fire. And, of course, the fire is the past tense of fire. You're fired, you're made unemployed. And then fire away, fire off and fire away are kind of the same. Fire away, as in start your process. And then we have firing squad, which that fire means firing your gun, and firing squad is, a bunch of soldiers that shoot a prisoner. That's a firing squad. Another word which is cool in slang is lit. Now, again, this is a new one. Wow, that's lit. Though that shirt is lit. That, that bike is lit. So lit is L-I-T is the past tense of light, right? And so light, lit. And then we have the expression lit up. I got lit up, man. That was amazing. That, that performance you did, the way you played, I was lit up. That just lit me up, right? So that's light, past tense of it, and then so is lit, but then it becomes an adjective, lit. That's lit, man. And, or this is, lit, I lit the pilot. So that's just the past tense of light. That's nothing special. But lit here means cool, amazing. Another word for cool in slang is sick. That's just sick, man. Now, I don't use that one because I don't like to use a negative thing for a positive case. But sick, another version of, this in this simplest form means ill. Somebody who's ill. Now, there's a difference between sick and ill. And, like when you got car sick, when you need to throw up, that's car sick. You don't got ill. But this, like, Your attitude makes me ill. And you can say sick and ill interchangeably, but there are areas that it's sick and not ill. And sick, but here is a good thing. Wow, that's sick. It says amazing. Which again, I don't. But then we have the word sickening. That's sickening. The way you treat your husband is sickening. The way that makes me sick, that makes me ill, that makes me really uncomfortable. This is a sickening way that they treat their animals, right? Sickening, make you sick. En in English, a lot of times is to make something. Length, which is long, and then length, noun of length, lengthen means to make something long. But then again, don't count on it because there are many exceptions. So sick, but then that's sick. So that's adjective sick, and then the other sick means ill, not good. But to sick something, I sick my dog on him. Kind of like let your dog attack somebody. Don't let me sick my dogs on you. And that could be not necessarily dogs, but like kind of like threaten somebody that I'm gonna have people attack you. And the last one for cool in slang is tight. Again, I don't use this as cool, but that's tight man. I guess that's the expression. But tight is, in its simplest form, is the opposite of wide, right? So you have a wide space, and you have a tight space. But then tight, it's kind of like narrow, right? Narrow and tight are interchangeable. Narrow and tight are both adjectives that pretty much mean the same thing. But then the expression probably is the cool in slang, because like we're tight, man. That means that we are good together. We make a tight team. That's, we make a good team. So I guess that's where the cool thing is. But tight is usually a space that there's not a lot of room in it, right? Another word probably that you could use for that is tight, narrow, and snug. Snug is also something that is very form fitting. Like when you wear a tight shirt, she's wearing really tight, tight pants. And then we have tights, plural, which is, some sort of a, almost like gym shorts or something that are tights, that you're wearing tights. But tight is basically, an adjective. And then again, you can use the word en. So like sicken, and then tighten. Tighten your grip, make your grip tighter. So something is tight, something is not loose, right? So loose, so we tight and then loose is another opposite of the tight. And so tight could be narrow, and the opposite would be, that's a tight space, that's a wide space. But then tight, as in it's just like it's really snug, it's really sticks to something, then it's loose. Right? Like my shirt is not tight, it's loose. If it was tight, it would just stick to my body. Okay. So those are all the words that cool in slang: fire, lit, stick, sick, and tight. Hey there, friend. Nice to meet you. I am Hamid. Sorry for the interruption. If you are enjoying this video and are looking to take your English fluency and vocabulary to the next level, I've got something special for you. I offer personalized one-on-one coaching sessions tailored to your unique goals and interests. Whether you're focusing on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, or all around communication skills, I'm here to help you master English in a way that's fun and effective. Ready to elevate your English? Click on the link in the description below to book your session with me today. Let's embark on this journey to English mastery together. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more tips and tricks on mastering English. So now these are gift-giving accessories. It could be bow or bow, and there are different things. So bow or bow it's got so many different meanings, right? So here, gift giving accessory bow is, or bow is like, like a thing that you make like a figure eight on a box. That's a bow, right? But then another noun for bow is when you have a, when you're an archer and you throw, arrows, the thing that you pull, it's the bow is the thing that throws the arrows. So that's bow, which it almost looks like D, letter D. And then for that we have rainbow, because bow is usually, kind of like a curvy thing. That's a bow. And then so rainbow and bow and arrow, which is an archer as bow and arrow. But then we have to bow. That's not to bow, to bow. It's the same exact spelling, B-O-W, but it's bow. Bow down. That's what the Japanese do. That's bow. You don't have to say the hi. Hi is the Japanese thing. But bow. Bow your head, or bow all the way on your, on your back or something. That's all bow. Bow. Bow down to the queen, but then you use a bow and arrow. Another thing as a gift giving accessory is a box. Box again has so many meanings, right? So the verb to box is like, oh, I'm boxing, like Muhammad Ali Clay was a boxer. So that's one definition of box. But then the other definition of the verb box is to box something. I'm going to box my PlayStation, put it in a box, or on box, take it out of box. But then we have expression, don't box me in, don't put me in a box, don't limit me. That's box me in. And then, you put your cat in a box, and, you have a jack in the box, and it's like Jack in the box is a stupid little toy that comes out of the box or something, jumps out. That's Jack in a box. And, so it's as a verb, box, and then as a noun, box. I probably didn't mention all of it. There's a lot with box. And then card, card, I actually did a video on card. It's, again, is a gift giving accessory. You give a card, like a greeting card or birthday card. And card is, as I said before, card in French would be carte blanche, means white card, which means I'm giving you carte blanche, means that you can do whatever you want. Carte blanche. Card, but also to card recently is used to identify somebody's age, to see if they are of age. In 7-Eleven, the guy carded me, as in he asked me for my card to make sure I'm 18, because I wanted to buy booze, alcohol, right? So, yeah. The next one for gift giving accessories is wrapping. You wrap the paper. You wrap with the paper. You wrap it with the paper. You put your gift in a box, right? You wrap it in a wrapping paper. You put a bow on it, and you put a card. That's your total gift, right? So wrapping comes from the word wrap, and wrap, one way of wrap means to cover something with something, right? Like wrapping paper, you wrap the gift with it. You can wrap yourself with a blanket. So wrapping is just the act of covering something with something, covering yourself with something. But then wrap it up. That means end it, quit it, finish it, wrap it up. And then, so wrapping and then wrap up. What's the wrap up? Like, when is this thing is going to wrap up? When is it going to close? When it's going to end? Okay. Then these are dating app actions, which, you probably know about. Block is, you block somebody on Facebook or wherever, so they can't reach you anymore. You block their phone number. Block in general as a verb means to put an obstacle in front of something. You blocked me. I can't go in my parking lot. You blocked me, right? So blocking, stopping something's movement, you blocking. But in here, it means, you block somebody so they can't access you. So in general, block is creating an obstacle, right? So somebody can't access you, can't reach you. And then block, there's another complete expression, and that means this is my block, this is my neighborhood. And block usually in English means like the area between two intersections. It's usually a block. It's a certain distance, especially in US or places like Canada or something. Block is pretty much the same size everywhere. It's like this distance between two intersections is the same. Because I've seen in other countries it's not necessarily the case. But block, therefore, you could say, oh, my office is about 6 blocks from my house. Kind of that means maybe, I don't know, a kilometer or whatever. So 6 blocks. So block, but then you can also use block as in a unit. I'm gonna buy 8 blocks of time. So that means a unit of time. Okay. Then another dating app action is match, right? If you block somebody, you never hear from them yet. If you match, okay, hey, let's start talking. So match, in general, match means to match somebody, to match something. And when you go and have a job interview that doesn't go so well, they write you letters. Unfortunately, this is not a good match. So match is like, if you have this and then this, maybe it's like a good match or maybe not. I don't know. That's not very smart. But I don't know. Match is, these two hands match because they can go together. Whatever matches, right? So match, and then because of that, we have the word matchmaker, which probably doesn't exist anymore. But matchmaker was the person's like, oh, Joe is really good for Suzanne. Let's match them. And then we have things like mix and match, which is a verb. And it's kind of like, oh, let's mix and match and put things together and then match them, right? Mix and match. And match can also be a contest, like a tennis match, right? That has nothing to do with matching. And, tennis match is a tennis contest. Match, race are kind of the same. And, we are a good match, as in we do good as a team or as a couple or whatever. I hope you find your match. As in, I hope you find somebody who complements you, who is in the right connection with you. And then the final meaning of match is matchstick, right? Which, again, probably we don't use anymore, but matchstick is this thing that, lights on fire. Matchstick. It's a matchstick. The next word for dating app actions is message. Of course, message. You message it. And then English, being English, usually the word ER is, creates a subject of something. You could even say block here, right? Block here, right? Matcher doesn't work, but block here, like, ad blocker, like something that stops ads. But then message, the subject of message, the person who does the message is not the messenger, is there. So pay attention, right? It's like you can't just use one thing with another thing. It's messenger. So message means usually, having a message. Somebody has a message for you. You send somebody a private message online, right? Or a direct message, DM, IM, PM, whatever. It's all message, messaging information. But then message can be used like in marketing. What is your message? What is that what you want to say, right? And then that's my message to you. That's what I wanted to say usually. And then we have messenger dogs, the birds that, fly and they deliver a message. But message in general doesn't have a lot of different meanings. It's the same. All of them are the same. Don't mistake message with massage, which is message is MESSAGE. Massage is MASSAGE. And massage is, of course, I'm massaging you. I'm not messaging you. I'm massaging you, right? I'm massaging myself. And then in that sense, massage can have a lot of meanings. It's not only massage of, can you massage this a little bit? Can you massage your message a little bit so it's more soft and less aggressive? Speaking of that, I wanted to say that English can come off as pretty hard and it's confusing and there are so many things that you need to learn. And that could make you exhausted and frustrated, and you don't want to continue. But I've been studying English more than 40 years, and I love this language. It's such a rich language. There's so many words, or a million words. You can give your message, give your speak, and have different things to say. And the thing is that, if you learn English well, your English is going to be better than 99% of Americans and the Brits, really, because those guys don't necessarily know English the way you will learn English. You are learning English because those guys are not really working at it. They were just born there and they know some English. But what you're doing is so much more. So keep coming back to my channel, keep watching my videos, comment, and tell me what you want. And if you fall down, just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and continue. You will be successful. Another word for dating apps is action is a swipe. And I actually did a video on swipe. Swipe means, of course, in dating apps, like swipe left, swipe right, whatever, right? But swipe means so many things, like you swipe your credit card. It's this action, swipe. But then swipe can also mean stealing. Somebody swiped my phone. Somebody swiped my credit card. Somebody swiped my wallet. That's swiped, right? So pay attention. That swipe can have different meanings. And then this is the last group, lucky. These are the words that come after the word lucky. Break. Now, break, I've talked about break. Break is, in its simplest form, is breaking something, like break a piece of wood. But then you can also break something like a break agreement. You just broke that agreement that we had, right? And then break contract, or another word for us, breach of contract. But that just broke me. That job just broke me. I feel broken. That break, it doesn't mean that somebody crushed your bones, but it's breaking. Just like destroying you, breaking, destroy. And then, but the same break can mean, can we have get a break? That means, like, can we have some time to relax and not keep going? Like, you have 5-hour workshop, and it's like, after 2 hours, can we have a break, right? And then I've talked about this. Then if you have break as in B-R-A-K-E, not B-R-E-A-K, break, that break means that, put your foot on the brake, stop the car, right? Break. So yeah, break is a lot of meaning. And then we have charm, lucky charm. And charm means to enchant, to like just amaze somebody, mesmerize them, you charm them. That's why the word charming exists. That's charming. It's like enchanting. It just lifts my soul up, right? That's charming. But then charm is also, he's my lucky charm. Like, I take him everywhere. This is my little brother, James, and wherever he comes to my matches, I play chess, and whenever he's there, I win. He's my lucky charm. So charm also means something which brings you luck. So that's charming, charm. Then we have duck, lucky duck. You're a lucky duck, which I don't. But duck is, in its simplest form, is the bird. Quack, 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 quack. That's duck, right? That's a bird that quacks is a duck. So that's that cute bird, duck. But then duck is also a verb. So it's like your girlfriend throws a shoe at you, you duck. So you don't get it. Or whatever. Your boss throws you a chair, you duck. So when you duck, literally put your head down or bring yourself down. Usually duck means going down, right? Because duck usually means going down. It's not just getting out of the way. It's usually a vertically towards bottom movement. But dodge is like you dodge the bullet, right? You dodge. So when you dodge, you're in the bullet is heading for you, you move away. But you don't usually duck a bullet, right? Because dodge, I think they'll just dodge the bullet, right? I didn't date that girl and I think I just dodged a bullet. Or I didn't that guy and I dodged a bullet because later I discovered that, he's a serial lawyer or something, right? So duck. But then duck, you don't say I ducked a bullet, you say I dodged a bullet. And finally is strike, lucky strike, which again, I don't use, I don't know what that is. But strike, as I have said before, strike has a lot of meanings. Strike means to hit somebody. Strike, if you're playing baseball, 3 strikes and you are out. Or now, they made it a law. If you have 3 strikes, as in you were found guilty 3 times, and you go to jail. But then we have struck, which comes from strike, to be struck by lightning, right? So that's another thing. I was struck by lightning, but then I was struck with a thought, or it struck me that I can always hire a chef. Struck me, as in I was hit with this idea. I dawned on me. And then strike, as I said before, strike can also mean, going on strike. Why is there no food today? Because all the kitchen staff is on strike, right? Strike, on strike. And then you strike me as a smart person. Strike me as in you come off as. Okay. I hope you had a good time. I hope you learned much. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye.